If you've been struggling with your weight, Mochi Health is here to help. Mochi Health is a long-term weight loss solution personalized to fit your unique needs and goals. Meet one-on-one with board-certified obesity doctors and registered dietitians who are on a mission to listen. Eligible patients can access custom-formulated GLP-1 medications at an affordable set price and get them delivered to their home each month. Take our free quiz at joinmochi.com and use code AUDIO40 at checkout for $40 off your first month of membership.
Brews and Banter.
Hi, Frank.
Hey, Roman. How are you?
I'm great, and we have new guests today.
Yes, local guests.
And you guys go ahead and introduce yourself. And I was about to crack a joke, but I'm like, better not.
Why?
Go ahead.
That's going to break the ice. You got to do it.
We'll get into it.
All right.
First date, I got to take it easy.
Oh, thank you.
I don't do that.
We're with BBQuse. My name's John Urban.
And I'm Josh Picard.
And we're missing just one guy, Josh Love. Zach Love.
Yeah, the other guy.
The other part of our trio.
Yes, you guys are a three owner business, right?
Yep. 3 local guys.
And all veterans?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where did you guys serve? Which branches?
Navy,
Army.
National Guard, and Army. Zach was Army National Guard.
Yeah.
Army National Guard.
Yeah,
You
but
guys
he was
always bust each other's balls?
Officer, so.
A little bit.
A little bit?
You know.
With respect, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I got to believe the Navy's going to kick the Army's ass right now.
Yeah.
I think it could happen.
One-on-one.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
The uniforms were awesome this year.
Yeah.
Those were so cool.
So your guys' business is barbecue sauce?
Yeah.
And thank you for the box, by the way, during the beer fest at the
CMY Brew Fest, yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys chug them down or where?
Well, they were sitting in my house for a while.
Okay.
And I'm like, I got to save them for the podcast. I couldn't wait. I was just like, I got to put them on. And I started using it on everything.
Yeah.
Especially.
You can see like there's level, and then there's this one. So you know which one Rowan likes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I put them in the refrigerator, but we have these here. We'll try them out, and you guys can tell us more about each flavor. But tell us first how you got into this business and how you guys met.
We all met at the hospital. We all work at Upstate Hospital.
Oh, okay.
I work in heart and vascular now. Josh.
Yeah, I'm in interventional radiology. And at the time that we met,
we were all up on the neuro floor, yeah.
Yeah. We met in different atmospheres and then ended up on the neuro floor all at the same time. And, of course, around 2019, I think it was, something happened. It was kind of like a worldwide thing.
Oh, yeah, the COVID.
Oh, that's what it was. Right, yeah. How did I forget? But, during that time, we were kind of just messing around, making some stuff at home. And kind of outdoing each other, trying anyways. And
they shipped me away.
Yeah, they shipped John away. And
deployed in 2021, I guess you call it a deployment. I got sent to Guantanamo Bay.
Oh.
For how long?
10 months, almost.
You get to see some interesting shit down there, huh?
Yeah. It's people always ask me, they're like, you want to go to the Caribbean again? I'm like, no. If you get forced to go there, you don't go back again.
Yeah.
I mean, it was beautiful and it was easy, but it was just... It's weird.
Yeah, it's different for sure. Yep.
But that's where I started. I did the original when I was there because we had like craft and we had like Sweet Baby Ray's. And so that's where I started the original from a sauce that my dad used to make way back in the day. And I remember he used to have an old square box smoker that he had in the backyard. And this was back when they were like, oh, yeah, you should soak all your chips and do all this crazy stuff. And he had a catering business at the time that he did pulled pork and stuff like that. And, but he had this sauce, and I remembered bits and pieces of it from what it was, and then that became the original.
Yep.
And then when I came home, they had already been working on a couple different sauces. And
so did you guys have some sort of competition going on when you're at the hospital? How did the idea come up?
Yeah, so again, it was literally just like creating different flavors.
But you guys sit down one day, be like, let's see who can make the best shit. Or?
Yeah. It really was. We honestly had like a cook-off.
Okay.
We had a real big brisket cook-off. It was Zach and I, because John was still out of town smoking iguana or whatever he was doing. So we were smoking normal,
the banana rats.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
A little closer.
Oh, sorry.
Is that what they call it? Yeah.
Don't be afraid of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
We won't judge.
He's used to smaller things like
Yeah, this is big.
that. But
Smaller things being.
right, I know. I'm the posh of this.
Man, I didn't hear a no yet. I'm kind of concerned.
Barbecue is love, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it kind of started to blossom was, we were finding that people were literally asking for us to cook for them. They were like, oh, this brisket is for real. Like, do you guys do anything? Would you cater?
Kept bringing it to work, and all the nurses would just snatch it up.
And that was a real kind of, I don't know about a litmus test, but like it really proved that what we were doing was something people wanted, they liked. And we are kind of just like, can we do something with this? Can we start a tenement on wheels and cook this and sell it at an event or something? And then we were like, that's just too much work. Like, let's not do that. And we ended up doing
just focusing on sauce,
just the sauces, and wanted to see where that would take us versus like doing a real like brick and mortar or food truck.
At least you grow from there, right? So you haven't done a food truck yet, but maybe you will. Or, you just don't know. So you're not shutting any. What won't you do? What have you guys decided we're not going to do as a company?
Man,
depends how many beers we have, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're here for.
All right.
Personally, I grew up, my dad was a cook. He did catering. I worked in, pretty much from 16 and up. If you worked in a restaurant, I worked in the kitchen. I helped and did all that stuff. And then I started working in kitchens, and I just more it. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
It's God bless anybody who wants to do it, who loves it. I mean, I love it, but it's more of just a hobby.
Yeah, hobby instead of a job for sure.
It's tough to do every single day in and out. It's definitely a labor of love. Maybe if I retire.
Yeah.
But and like he said, the hospital, bringing to the hospital, we started with these little glass, God, what were they, 5-ounce bottles that we found on Amazon?
Yeah.
And we filled them all up, put a little label on it, and we were just handing them out to the nurses to see what they like better. And,
like a little tasting glass?
Yeah. Just little, we sealed them off, had a little heat tape on top. And and then we kind of were like, all right, people really like the sauce. We had no bad complaints. Nobody had anything bad to say about any of the flavors. So, we took it to the next step.
Yeah.
And that's when we did remember boiling 60 gallons of sauce.
It's too bad that Zach's not here because, Zach's passion was, that he really wanted to have a restaurant. He wanted to cook. And like, there's times where he's even mentioned like, oh, I wish I went to the CIA, the Culinary Institute instead of nursing, so it has a different angle of passion from us, all culinary, but like, from what angle. So I think it's a good blend having the three of us on it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you guys have a spot you do this out of locally? Or I mean, I know you mentioned something earlier for the packing piece of it, but...
Nope. We kind of phones and cell phones and computers, and we kind of all get together and decide what we're going to do with our stuff. And we have a storage area and everything like that. And
we did start like, grassroots, making it out of the garage and making it on our kitchen sinks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then, and then the test kitchen wow, that was something.
I bring it up because, we're cozy in here. We're comfortable.
Yeah.
That's why we couldn't really fit, Zach.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
And, but if you had something, we can come on site. We have this whole thing that's remote capable, so we can come to you also, but I don't want to hang out in your bedroom or anything.
It's big.
It's large, yeah.
More room there.
But
we'll figure something out to have Zach on again.
Yeah, sure.
But tell us about these flavors.
It's funny. We always get the questions, oh, what's your spicy one? Or what's your favorite?
Yeah.
And it's really hard to say, this is my favorite. It usually comes down to what would I use this for?
Right.
Like, are you making pulled pork at home? Are you making, squirrel? Like, what are you trying to do? And then we'll give them suggestions of like, let's make this. And I would recommend Carolina Gold for like your pulled pork, or a lot of people's children love them for like chicken nuggets.
Yes, right.
It's almost like a honey mustard, but not,
Trying to spice things up in the bedroom, go with the Tennessee Red.
that's right. Yeah. Well, that could be a whole different problem.
You're gonna start getting orders of what is it, Tennessee Red? You said,
Yeah.
Tennessee Red in gallons. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Porn shop somewhere.
We need to get the bottles here when we get a chance, because you squeeze them. These things are like like your prostate is supposed to work.
Yeah.
I mean, it shuts right off. Like there's just no drip or anything. Like, wow, this is great.
I didn't know. So my first one I opened, I put it on a pizza.
Oh, nice.
I'm pointing at the pizza. I'm like, so I squeeze it, and it's like ricochet and fucking. I was like, oh, this thing's got some power.
And then it shut. There's no drip.
Yeah. Why don't I can go get the bottles and put them on the table.
Yeah.
So that was like the big thing too when we were designing the bottle. So my wife's a graphic designer, so she kind of helped out with getting the logo together and everything like that. And but the bottle, we were like, we want it to be what we want. So it was like, what do we hate the most? And I always hate the caps that are metal and just twist and twist.
The shit on the end of them, yeah.
Yeah, or you get that gunk, that hard stuff at the top, and it's like, just all the little things. And I had a couple people tell me that we designed this bottle for moms. But you can fit it on almost any shelf in your kitchen.
Yep.
And the cool part, and my favorite part really, I do love the vacuum seal, so you don't get that gunk everywhere. But once you start to get low, you just flip it upside down.
Yeah.
And you get all the sauce out of it,
Yeah. You mentioned the name, which so what a great play on Syracuse, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
It works out perfect for you guys, but it's these bottles are, I'm kind of used to this anyway. I don't know about Roman. But these are just even like just a great shape. It's like a thin.
Yeah.
We had these in New Orleans, and remember those glasses at the B&B, the Airbnb. They had glasses like this, like just regular soda glasses, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
But it's a unique. Maybe not unique, but just not normal.
No, it is. It is unique. I mean, you go into the store, go into Wegmans, and you look for our stuff, and you distinctly see it.
Yep.
This is not a bottle that's normal. And it's actually one of the things that we've had a little trouble with our co-packer, because they're like, well, we can get you cheaper bottles, but we can't get these ones cheaper.
Right.
And that kind of sucks. But on the same hand, like that's us. That's our brand. We want it to be this. And we love, the utilitarianism of it. And it's great. So.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't take up much space on the shelf, and some of these you get these like salad dressings that are like a big, whatever that shape is, like I don't know what it is. It comes down.
They call it a banjo.
What is it?
No, it's called a banjo.
Yeah, it looks like a wishbone.
Yep.
Like that type of shape. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who does this? Because you got to put it in crooked, and you can't fit that shit in there. But
it doesn't fit right.
Right.
The shape of your bottle is like you say your identity.
It kind of is.
Yeah. And if you change it and you keep changing it because it's cheaper, then you kind of lose that recognition.
And that's not what we're going for. That's one of the things about our sauces is we're not trying to pull any punches here and throw some, high fructose or glucose or I don't know what all the hell's stupid things.
I mean, you taste it, you're hooked. That's the biggest thing about it. I mean, everybody we've had taste, when we've done we've done wine and chocolate, we've done taste in Syracuse, we've done a couple different events. I mean, you try it and that's it.
And then, well, that's what happened. I think I reached out to you guys probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had some. I don't know. Oh, my wife got me some for Christmas.
Ah, there.
Yeah. So, nice. But she only bought me a 2-pack, so then the 4-pack's coming. But so that's why I reached out. But I wanted to show. This is the Carolina Gold, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the prostate cup. Watch it. Look at that. No leak.
And the nice part too, your grill's a little hot. You're not trying to get too close. You just hit it from far away.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So
you get an intruder behind you. Boom.
Yeah, it's precision, right?
Yeah. You can still care for that.
Yeah. I would use a Tennessee Red for that one.
Yeah.
That one's so I've noticed they're different consistencies, and the Alabama White goes with a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah,
it does.
I feel like it's like the neutral one. I get these pre-made meals that are frozen for like a diet. Because I'm a fat ass. And
welcome to the world, buddy.
I was gonna say, then what am I?
Cheers.
You'll get there.
You'll get there someday.
You'll get there.
So some of these meals, and they're delicious. They're frozen. I throw them in the microwave. And some of these meals already have barbecue sauce in them. Yeah. I'm like, nah, I'm going to throw some of this. And it just changes the flavor a little bit. But always in a good way. So I started, that one's almost empty out of all of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. So, I mean, if you want to talk about each individual sauce, the Alabama White is not one that you see up here a lot.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 other brands that we see at Wegmans once in a while. And, I mean, we've tried even the local ones, and I'm not, like, crapping on them, but, like, I like ours better. Yeah. And I think it's a unique flavor. It's a mayonnaise base, but it's got a little bit of, like, a vinegary, peppery flavor to it. Love it on a fried chicken.
Yeah. But you can use it with so much stuff. I mean,
brisket,
coleslaw,
hamburger.
Yeah.
It spices up anything that
I
you're
have a
eating.
friend in Virginia puts it on all his salads.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
And you don't see it up here in New York very much,
Right.
right? And then that's we get a lot of just kind of verification from people that come in and they're like, "I'm from Carolina. I want to try your Carolina Gold," and they do, and they're like, "Oh my God, this reminds me of this." You know, Jim Bob's, and he works on the corner of, Route whatever. It tastes just like that.
Yeah.
And we're like, dang, that is amazing,
When Frank tosses a salad, he uses that one.
yeah. You know,
You got to excel at something. Boy, that's mine.
you got to be careful. It is a little greasy. No.
You would rinse it out with the Tennessee.
So the Tennessee Red is the most like liquid density. Is it supposed to be that way?
Yeah, so it's a little bit more of like a mop sauce. Something you would put rib-wise, something that's like not such a thicker consistency, but kind of nice, leaves a nice little glaze on it. A lot of people, and Zach would tell you this too, he's the one who came up with mixing the original and the Tennessee together and doing that on ribs. And it's got that nice, sweet, spicy kick. The Tennessee kind of waters down the thicker barbecue a little bit better. And it's awesome. It's got a nice bite, that sweet tenderness, and you get that nice caramelization once you fire up the ribs on it too. But yeah, that was kind of our idea with the Tennessee. We wanted something spicier, something a little different than the other ones. And
So your recommendation, mix those together at the same time and then use it? Or do you start with original and get it like caramelized a little bit?
I would mix them both together and put them right on.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Not
use
separate.
a mop or a brush or.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Because this is so liquidy, I was thinking of it like maybe marinating the meat a little bit before going on the grill.
Yep. Yeah.
Because it will kind of get into all the crevices and massage it into the meat.
You had, I need a cigarette right now.
A little warmer.
I knew where that was
lights
going.
down.
So this is probably vinegar based.
Yeah. There's a couple that are more vinegary, if you will. The Alabama White, the Tennessee have a little bit more vinegar to them.
And you can inject this with a syringe into the meat.
Yeah.
You could.
I love the color. One of my favorite parts about this is when, we came up with it was just like, you look at it and you're like, oh, wow, you can see, all your spices and stuff that are mixed into the sauce with. I mean, most of them are kind of like that, especially the Alabama too.
What
That's
would
why
you,
we like the clear bottles.
what would you use on turkey? Like a Thanksgiving turkey?
I think it depends on who it is.
Is it smoked? Is it?
Yeah.
If it's smoked,
Yeah.
How is it
that's the
cooked?
question. Why on the smoked is awesome. Smoked.
Yeah, so the smoked one is going to be sort of the mayonnaise based product, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all what your flavor
Yeah.
profile is.
Yeah, no, I just, right. I mean, rub it on there like, like this. Just kind of rub it and stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Stuff it under
PG-13.
Yeah, get it in there. What'd you say?
This podcast airs after hours.
I might have to move over a little bit.
You can't get away. I can move over
No,
too.
I can't get over it.
You
That's
can't
all right.
stand up for a little while.
Walk it up.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
I am. How did you guys come up with the names?
We just kind of, man, I don't know. I think the original was there, the Carolina was there, and then
Yeah. We
we
really
like the steak style. Like that's kind of where they originate out of that era or those areas, and so we kind of rolled with that. And
we wanted to keep it simple, right? We can go with like bone sucking sauce and stuff like that, but like it's played out, and we're just kind of like suburban dads. This is what we do.
Yep.
We make barbecue. This is what you're getting. You're getting sauce. It's good sauce. Like,
You go down
let it
south,
speak for itself.
you can get Carolina Gold sauce or Alabama White down there. It's just made by someone else.
Exactly.
So it's a name that's already sort of around.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you can get clever, but I don't know.
you got an idea what it is, before you even try it. That was a tough part. I was a little nervous about the Alabama White selling up here was that nobody knows what it is.
Right.
So somebody going to spend, $6.99 at Wegmans to try a bottle of white sauce that they've never seen or heard of or tried before. And that's why we like doing the tastings because you get to try it, and then they're like, wow.
Yeah.
So these are all $7, $6.99.
I think it depends on which stores you're going to. But
Because I know that if you buy the pack, it's $25 or something like that.
yeah,
So it's
off our
obviously-
website's a little different.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's a little cheaper to do that way, but if you're going into, Macy's, I think is $6.49, Wegmans $6.49.
Yeah. Well, I'm just giving the people option to order right off the website and.
Yep.
Yeah, the website's great. We usually, if you order, it's usually shipped out the next day. We got a really good shipping guy. He's super handsome, smart, tall, strong.
Yeah, that's what. That's why I wish Zach was here. Can we get some of this shit or no?
Before we start, can we just get more beer?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are you almost done?
Yeah.
All right. Let's just get more interesting beer like John, and then we can have it with barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Nice.
We got some more beer.
Yeah.
John and I, we got real beer.
We got real beer. It's just
It's
It's all right.
it's all real. I mean, it's beautiful. Cold Snap's delicious on a good
is,
summer
yeah.
day.
Boston for his birthday, and we were at the Sam Adams brewery. It was,
Yeah.
I don't know, I love the stuff.
That was cool.
good.
We did. Where did we go? Went to Harpoon first, right? That's when we
Was it
were
Harpoon?
talking about. We were drunk by then. You know, we got on this whole thing about the sauces and stuff like that, and we were like, we should buy a bakery and a brewery. And we're like, let's make it a half bakery, half brewery. And we're like ready. We're all looking on our phones. We're like, this place costs this much and this. It's like, we're all getting into the semantics of it. It's like,
Bacon brew. There you go.
I mean,
we're like, man, we just wish Baldwinsville had like a bakery that like,
Barbara Brew.
you know, your bakery in the morning and then you just brew stuff in the afternoon. You just same grain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are well enough friends that you all hang out outside of the business. So I mean, we do the same. So it's it's a little different. It's a little easier to sort of have that relationship when you've got business and
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we got different personalities, and we kind of stick to a democratic process of figuring most things out. Like, are we in on this?
Yeah.
If one person's out, then like, well, you might have to deal with it. But
Right. We kind of we round each other off really well. We kind of have different ideas and, mutual respect. So it's very like, if one of us is like, I want to buy the Eiffel Tower. It's like, well, let's not buy the Eiffel Tower yet. Let's hold on,
we could do the Eiffel
someday.
Tower
Someday, but let's just,
We can buy it. Let's just sell 58 million more bottles.
Right.
We're
Then
not talking about that. We're talking about the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower.
What's the safe word for this podcast?
there is no safe word.
Beep.
You will
That's a
suffer.
beep. And when the other one was London Bridge, right?
London Bridge. Yeah.
London Bridge is what, like when you don't high five.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna start digging into the sauce.
You're probably gonna go with the one you already drank half of, right?
No, I'm going to. I don't know. I'm going to start with what is that? Carolina Gold.
There you go.
You guys probably have like 55-gallon drums at your house.
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I end up every time we do an event.
Yeah.
One of us ends up with like the ones that we didn't finish off. And we're like,
Half-filled,
I got 12 of these in my fridge now.
Yeah. But like you said, it doesn't get all crusty and disgusting. And is there an expiration on this stuff or no?
Yeah. So it's a 2-year shelf life for each one.
Who the fuck's in the last 2 years with this stuff?
Yeah. That's
First of all, it tastes so good. You wouldn't, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where we bought our first 500 gallons. We were like, oh, should we do this? What if it doesn't sell? And I'm like, pretty sure we could figure out how to get rid of 500 gallons in 2 years if we need to.
Yeah.
So,
500 gallons. So what size are these? 12 ounce, 12 and a half? Yeah, I don't know what that math is, but
case is roughly a gallon, I think.
128.
a case is a gallon?
Roughly.
Yeah.
Give or
I
take.
think it's
a couple ounces.
128 ounces to a gallon.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
You're saying shelf life is 2 years. That's if you don't open it.
Yep.
Once it's open, it has to be refrigerated.
Right.
Correct. And then once you open, what is it? Few months.
I don't know. Never gotten that far.
I got to be
I don't
honest.
know
with
anybody
you.
who's gotten it that far.
If it's lasting a few months, then don't buy it again.
yeah, we'll
Like
call
that,
Cornell. We'll see what they say.
Yeah. I never thought to ask once you open it.
I don't want to touch your bread.
You want to touch his loaf?
Yeah.
Loaf. That's right. How did you know?
Don't let your meatloaf. What? So I haven't tried this because I told you I bought the 4-pack.
Yeah.
My wife got me the Alabama White and the Tennessee Red.
Okay.
So I haven't tried this one yet. But we talked.
That's good for chicken wings, you said.
Oh, that.
Yeah. That's a sneaky favorite. Smoked chicken wings with a little bit of Carolina Gold. Forget about it.
It's cool because it's got it sounds silly, but like layers of flavor to them. Like especially with the original twos like that, you get that sweetness on the front end, you get the smoky in the middle, and a little bit of heat in the back. But you get the same thing with the Carolina. You get that vinegar, you get that mustard, and then you get that kick, that heat from the back.
But now we like double dip. Is that what's happening? Because I just kind of bid on this.
Why'd you bid? That's why.
Why don't you just lady on the tramp?
I'm just fucking do this because we got the prostate bottle.
Squirt on.
So Tennessee Red
Yeah.
has the consistent sharpness. It's not like super spicy at the beginning or the front, and then
That's fucking good shit, man.
it stays hot.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like that. I like the consistency of that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we wanted with the Tennessee was like a spicier, nothing too wild, but just a nice spicy. And then we like the style of the mop sauce and everything like that. Just something a little different than the other ones.
Yeah, it's not overpowering at the beginning.
No.
But it's a consistent spice. Like still stays on your tongue a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting because again, like we get the same questions at the shows, and they're always like, "What's your spiciest?" And we're like, "Well, Tennessee Red." But I wouldn't even like.
Yeah.
You
get some guys that are like, "Oh, that's not spicy."
We're like, "Well, I didn't tell you it was." But
Some people like nose runny spicy. Where they're like, I don't want snot in my food.
yeah,
And
we're not.
Everyone's
trying to do that.
tolerance is
original?
different.
Yeah, totally. Because you'll get some people that'll try the original and be like, "Oh, that's the spiciest thing."
Because I've not had that one or this one yet. So
Yeah. So that's the original barbecue, Kansas City inspired, right?
they're smoky.
It does have a little smoke to it, a little sweet, and then just a touch of heat. It's a complex flavor, and it, like we were saying,
good, man.
And it's fun to watch like people try them for the first time. They're like, take a bite, and then they're like, whoa, wait, oh, and they're like processing. This is like an evolving flavor. It's great. It's fun.
I've been putting this stuff on all kinds. My wife's like, "You're weird. Like, who puts this on Alfredo?"
Which one is that? The Alpha.
Yeah. The white sauce is really good.
Yeah, you're weird. And you're like,
I put that on Alfredo, chicken Alfredo I was eating. It was one of those meals that I was talking about.
Yeah.
And I put that on there. And she's like, "Why are you putting barbecue sauce on chicken Alfredo?" I'm like, "It's good shit."
Yeah.
well, the other thing is that
I put it on pizza. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about these bottles, but like some of these, there's a lot of people that eat a lot of barbecue or not, right? Like I don't like barbecue sauce itself a lot,
Right.
Messy, but this is a perfect size bottle because you're not going to have. I mean, what size are those things? Like 30 ounce or something? These wishbone looking bottles I was telling you about.
Like 32s, I think.
Yeah, that's big shit. That's more than two of these.
Yeah.
So like it takes up your space, and then you just go buy more of this. But this is good. Like so, we find we talked about a guy that gives us we buy the rubs from.
Oh, nice.
Rubs. So he's a small guy and good stuff. But for me, I'm never going to buy anything else. I don't need to. I mean, this is everything we need. I don't need the Sweet Baby Ray's or whatever those bullshit is. Like it's just perfect for me. So
Yeah. I mean, we did. Funny, one of the first negative feedbacks we got was your bottles are too small.
Oh, yeah.
Your what's too small?
The bottle. Oh, okay. The bottle.
we heard something else.
Okay. I don't think it's bad. I mean, too small for what? You just buy it again, right?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but he was just so excited about it.
Yeah.
And it was like
That was a
not
funny,
really.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was a funny story. The guy came down. He had barbecue from another local barbecue spot. I won't say who it is, but
McDonald's.
he had come down to Taste of Syracuse with the barbecue that he had bought and had tried our sauce. And he's like, "Man, this is really good. It's really good." And we told him the price, and he goes, "Oh, he goes, I can get." He's like, "I can get the place where he bought the barbecue, their sauce, for $4.99 or whatever the cost of it was for a bigger bottle." And I'm like, "That's cool, man. I mean, like, by all means, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys aren't upset if someone wants to go somewhere else. It's just not, you are not for them. That's all. Yeah.
Every sauce has got its place in the world, and it's awesome because there's so many different companies out there that do so many different sauces, and it's crazy to see some of the stuff out there. Like I saw a peach bourbon barbecue sauce today. I was like, man, look good on ribs and stuff. It's like there's just so many different.
It's like now you got craft sauce.
Yeah.
Like craft beer's got craft sauce.
Yeah, it's true.
He was complaining about $7.
Yeah, yeah. And
I mean,
it's like,
No, it's yeah.
$7 is 2 cups of coffee.
yeah.
You drink that, you piss it
It's
out.
one beer now, right?
You have this bottle of barbecue. I mean, I've had that alone with many meals, and there's still left over. There's still some in here.
I mean, but again, like,
We'll dump it back in at the end.
what are you getting with Sweet Baby Ray's? You're getting 12 ounces of high fructose corn syrup.
Right.
So let's be real about it. Like, you're paying more, but you're
So
getting a better quality.
is that part of what you? So two things. Do you guys ever plan to sell larger quantities?
Yes.
Like a half-gallon jug or some bullshit like this? Yeah.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so are you guys all? I don't know if it'd be organic materials you put in this, or
I mean, we try to.
but you're not. But you're not putting this high fructose corn syrup.
No,
Right.
no. We usually use mostly turbidito sugar in most of them.
Yeah.
or brown sugar.
Yeah. So, but what you're making basically, I'm getting at, is a little healthier than what people are buying on the large
so,
scale.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think all those ones. Maybe they don't taste bad. I don't really eat a lot of, like I said, I don't have a lot of that stuff, but this is phenomenal. And like, it's very universal. Like you can, most people like, maybe they like this on chicken.
Yeah.
Maybe someone wants a burger, or maybe someone wants fettuccine Alfredo. Who gives a shit,
I will tell you that white sauce on fried chicken,
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
changed my life.
Do you bake it on there, or you put it on afterwards?
Put it on afterwards.
Yeah.
Just do some fried chicken and then just,
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Look, your mouth's watering already. Look
I
at
know. I think about it. I'm like, man, we're going to get some fried chicken tonight.
that. Not here. Not in Ballsville.
So you guys distribute the stuff in retail stores so far, right? No restaurants?
No restaurants right now. Yeah.
So we when we started, we had toyed with that, and we were helping out some local places with gallons.
Well, they were helping us out, really. I mean,
Yeah, good point. But again, like we did try to experiment with that, and at the time we weren't pushing the volume to make it worthwhile.
Right.
Now we're at a point where we're getting a little bit more well known in Syracuse, if not kind of filling every spot that we can.
Yep.
And we're trying to branch out to Rochester, Albany. We've got stores in Oswego and Ithaca now. And, we're moving around. So we do have the volume to actually supply more local places with gallons. So we do have people, again, they still reach out to us about, can you do catering? Can you guys do gallons? And we're going to.
We're getting there eventually.
Right. Right.
So you're able to keep up with the demand if the demand grows?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beyond what you currently have?
So far, yeah.
So if like a chain contacts you and says, we need double what you're making now, you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need to move to a different facility or...
No, we actually, we kind of... Again, I think
That's
one of the
nice.
benefits of having three of us is that we've been able to kind of predict and plan ahead. And again, we did this as a hobby, so it was easy to be like, okay, if we put 10K into this and we lose it,
What's the okay?
we're all working.
Yeah.
We'll be okay. So it did go from like a fun hobby.
So you have other jobs other than this right now?
We do.
Yeah, we all
I
still
get
work
it.
at the hospital.
Yep, sure.
It was a fun hobby that really blossomed, and we're like, wait a second, where are we? We had a meeting where we were like, where are we going with this?
Right.
Are we going to like push this, or are we going to just make it a hobby? And if we make, break even, fine. If we make 2,000, whatever. But
That's where we are with this.
right, sure. But it's organically growing.
Yeah.
And when we got into Wegmans, it was like, wait a second, is this real? Like,
Yeah,
oh my
that
god,
was the wild part.
Huge
And
retailer.
they had kind of, the distributor kind of reached out to us, and I was like, I was kind of blown away by that. And it was actually a person that worked at the distributor, their family member had bought our sauce, I think, at one of our shows.
I see.
And they had it, and they were like, wow. They're like, we'd like to carry you guys. I was like, cool.
Now, as far there's contracts, all these things like so in Wegmans, is it regional? I mean, would you be in Wegmans in southern part of?
Right now it is regional, right?
Yeah.
Like, so they kind of do Syracuse area. So right now we're in Syracuse area, but we do have the sales to say, well, this is what we're selling. I think that you guys can use this to kind of expand into Rochester because that's our target. And here's our sales for these stores, and we're making moves. Like it's a thing. It's
Yeah, they're a well-oiled machine, so I know that they know what's going on. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if Wegmans looks at the sales of the units per month or whatever year, and they see that it sells, they're going to be like, all right, let's get more, let's get in more stores.
Wegmans knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got to a point where we have two co-packers now. So essentially, the co-packers are the ones that will acquire the bottles, the sauce, or the ingredients, make the sauce, and then we'll either have them delivered or pick them up, and then we distribute them based off of that. So we had to again plan ahead, and one of those things was if we grow, how do we expand? How do we keep up with that? And crazy enough, like when one of our first and best distributors retailers is Sparrows.
Yeah.
We do great business with them. They, again, and this is another shout out to local.
Yeah.
When you work with local people, small businesses, they want to be in the mix with you because we're working together, we're growing together, and they were like so helpful. They're like, if you guys can make the sauce and you can keep up with the demand, you're going to go places. So we were like, oh shit, like, we need to like plan ahead.
Right.
So yeah, here we are. And
a lot of local spots. You got Sparrows, you got Maisie's, Witty Wicks.
Maze is great. Yeah.
Yeah, Maisie's. And Witty Wicks, you wouldn't even think about it.
What is this? What is Woody Wicks?
Yeah, it's this awesome. It's this cool little shop over in
Township 5.
Township 5.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do,
See, I don't make it out there
baskets
too
and
much.
stuff. They do like a lot of local baskets. And I remember they must have bought like 20 cases from us at one time.
Yeah.
Because they were doing a big thing for a local company. And they're great, man.
Yeah.
And all these guys are so good to work with. They're, everybody's very cool. All Ace Hardwares, we work with a bunch of different places. Nightingale's out in what's Nightingale's is out in Tully, and they're out Marcellus, yeah. And I mean, all the Ace Hardwares, the local ones here, and it's tough to, we're almost at 45 stores now, so it's tough to really thank everybody. Nice.
But you guys got your recipe closely guarded, like KFC. Like nobody knows except you three. And like
I don't actually know where the recipes are anymore. There's somewhere. I gotta look.
It's closely guarded by someone.
Yeah,
the places got it upstairs. With like, I don't know, one of his transformers, I think, is attached with it.
The places that you guys have to the whole process of cooking and packing, do they have to sign an NDA so that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the recipe's got to be in the contract somewhere.
Sure. I mean, we can find it. Yeah.
Cornell's got them.
Yeah.
Cornell does have them.
That was wild.
What's the tie with the Cornell? You keep mentioning.
So each state has an agricultural institution, and that was established back in Teddy Roosevelt days or something like that. So like Texas A&M, agricultural, right? So that's their university that does any kind of stuff.
Yeah, they have like a food lab.
Right, that works with food, right? So Cornell is New York's. So in Cornell, they will take whatever it is that you're trying to make up, and they will do the lab work on it to test it for shelf stableness, pH. What else do they?
The pH was the big part, especially for the sauces for shelf life. The big thing for them was, do you want to use?
What are you talking about? Like stabilizer, like potassium sorbate? Yeah.
Those so that you can either heat it up or you can not heat it up and use like the potassium sorbate and stuff like that. Just a couple additives. And the first time we had done it, we had sent our stuff off for them, and they had sent us back what they call a schedule. And the schedule is how to make the sauce so that it's safe. And we did that and found out that what a pain in the ass that is. And the co-packer, after we had done that, was like, he's like, just a few suggestions. So we reached back out to Cornell, and Cornell has this great thing that if you take your sauce, they have a fee, obviously, because they need to get paid, to go through everything. And they were super helpful. The lady that I spoke with, she was awesome. She was very cool. And if you're just making a change to your sauce, there's no fee. So they were like, and they sent us back the schedules with just the additives, so you don't have to heat it, and it just keeps that shelf life that 2 years.
So your schedule though is what you can't deviate from. Right. That is now what is sort of the Bible ingredient for what you're making.
Correct.
And if you're going to change it, you've got to change that schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
If we were to change the sauce, we'd have to send the new recipe and whatnot back to them and a sample back to them, and then they would test it through and then send us back the schedule.
And you guys have plans for anything else? Any other kind of sauce?
We do.
You don't have to divulge if you can't. I mean, I don't know what you guys are going to.
Let's talk about it. So right now, I mean, the biggest focus has been a rub that John has really been.
So not even a sauce, a rub.
Yeah. This is the next one, right?
Yeah.
So we literally, right now we're calling it the rub. I mean.
Well, it should be BrewsNBanter rub.
You know?
You guys get us the recipe. And
I'll just do this.
Well, it's so funny because you get, because you have these different rules through New York State, and depending on how you feel about New York State and what they're trying to do, I get that they don't want everybody Joe and Schmo making barbecue sauce out of their toilet bowl, but at the same time, it's like, come on. But anyways, you got, what is it, the cottage laws? Yeah, the cottage laws say that you can do certain stuff. Rubs is one of them. And again, you can make your rub in a bathtub. And they don't care.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
Because you can't get sick. You can't really get sick from making a rub. It's all spices and stuff like that. So it's a little easier to do that. So we're kind of toying with the idea of kind of starting at how we did with our the sauces in the beginning was, do we start out? We've done some sampling here and there. Again, great response. Everybody really likes it. It's really good on pork and chicken. Probably shooting to have it out, trying for the beginning of summer.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's kind of hopefully for Father's Day, I think we were shooting for.
Yeah.
That's the plan. The other thing we were talking about is, making another possibly more like New York oriented one. So we've been making up a different variety of maple.
I was going to say that maple's got to be fucking expensive though, right?
It is, but again, like our price point is not on the $3.49 for 16.
Yep.
Gallons of this dog shit product. We want to make a good product.
Yeah.
So like if we're going to make it with maple, we're going to make it with maple. But we want to also do it with local,
That's right.
and we want to support that. And I think like it's the one thing that's missing, having a sweet sauce that people enjoy. I mean, it's not for everyone, but again, having like a maple New York barbecue, and we've been kind of toying around with it, trying to get a nice, blend of sweet and smoky. Down the road, we're talking about a marinade. So we've got things in the works. Stay tuned. Obviously, we're going to keep the 4-packs running for a while, but this year we're trying to get the rub out again, trying to aim for Father's Day.
Yep.
And then just keep it fresh for the ladies.
Have you
That's right.
make it sticky? Have you found any local syrup?
We've had a couple at the couple of shows we've been to. A couple of the guys have reached out to us. We've held a couple cards. Again, that one's probably a little bit more down the line than like the rub and the marinade. It's just, again, it's making sure it's what we want.
Yeah.
But it's, the rub right now is, the recipe for the rub is good. It's solid. We've tried it a bunch of times, a ton of times. We've kind of tested it slightly here and there. The next big part is bottles, design of the label. Do we want to get carried away with it? How that's the tough part is like just getting the design. Do we want to keep it, in line with what we have now? Do we want to make it a little bit more extravagant? It's just,
that's a fuck ton of rub right there, right?
yeah.
Do you guys do your own designs, or do you have a team that does it for you, like the marketing, the logo designs? And
We actually do our own designs. We've done some marketing stuff, but nothing. I mean, most of our marketing comes from just word of mouth, really. Going to the shows, people we meet, our friends are like, hey, you got to try this. And people order it offline. And our Instagram prowess, I guess.
okay.
Which
No, we did do some marketing, but for the bang for your buck, it's not tremendous, honestly. Yeah, and I think again because we are a little bit smaller, but the word of mouth has really been
that's the biggest.
I think that's the
it
best.
speaks for itself, which is a stupid.
Yeah, if you get
statement.
bigger, maybe you need some of that marketing stuff. But
Right.
right now it works because it's just overhead for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think just getting out. One of our goals is to kind of branch out to the Rochester area a little bit more this year. We want to do a couple events out there, and what's the Costanza's?
Oh yeah. Where's that? Like
awesome.
outdoor Greece or something like that?
Yeah.
That way? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out that way.
So they've held their product for, at least 6 months now.
Easily,
Yeah.
almost, yeah. But man, that place is awesome.
Yeah. I was going to stop there once, and maybe they're seasonal or they're not open.
They are.
Yeah. Okay.
They are,
So the beginning, I think they do they have a big deer processing season. So I think they shut down till end of February or end of January.
Okay. Yeah.
But they're closed for a little while for that. I mean, I can't imagine what kind of business they do for that. I mean, that place is the people that own that are incredible.
Yep.
I mean, they're so cool. I went in one day not too long ago. Took the kids out to the Museum of Play there in Rochester.
Yep.
And we stopped in. I had to cut myself off. I mean, the sauce. They got they have maple blueberry sausage. They have a whole bacon.
Yes, that's
case
right.
where
That's
it's
right.
slabs of bacon. You go, place is epic.
Yeah. I heard about this for some people at work, and I didn't get to stop there because it was closed. But we were heading out there for something. But yeah, it's like a butcher type of business.
Yeah.
And but they'll just mix all this kind of stuff. But that seems to be where you guys are with Spears and Maisie's. These butchers seem to really like your product. So
Yeah.
And you guys hunters?
No.
It's funny. I've had my hunting license for decades. Never gone hunting once.
I'm just curious.
why.
I'm curious.
So 25% of us in this room are hunters right now.
I did go duck hunting this January
Oh, nice.
for the first time. I went with Josh A.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't what the fuck?
It was on my bucket list. I'm like, I want to go try it. It was cool as hell. I think of the biggest part, I mean, obviously hunting by yourself and hunting with a group of guys, duck hunting, you're in a batch and you're all hanging out and, it's got that nice, I mean, my whole family hunts. They're all from up north, Pulaski area. And, they, going out by yourself, and just shutting the rest of the world off and just looking for that one thing and focusing. And then it was cool doing the duck hunting because, we're in there, there's 4 of us. We're all, well, guns up, they're out and I have no idea what they're talking about. They're like, oh, they got this diver and this one and that one and this other duck and that duck and this duck. And I'm like, all these duck looks the same to me. So I'm just like, every 5 seconds I see a duck, I'm like, pulling my gun up and they're like, no. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. I enjoy deer hunting and primarily with the bow.
Oh,
because I like the challenge.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I go out with a bayonet, just the bayonet. Though.
Yeah, just my teeth. That's
maybe
Rambo's not
my Rambo days are over.
Oh, all right. You're missing out.
And then, so I was wondering if you've had any feedback from hunters who have tried your barbecue sauce with venison.
Oh, that's a good question. I do have a bunch of hunter friends. I don't know that I've really gotten a lot of feedback, but I'll tell you what. I went up to Miller's Market. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Where is that?
It's out in Lowville. Run by a real great guy, Daryl.
We got a buddy who lives in Lowville.
And, he really enjoyed our sauces. And we're hoping to make a partnership with them. He said, they have a great business up there, which, I mean, we've had a number of pigs and cows processed up there, deer. Great business. So I would imagine, his input is pretty good. And he said he loved the sauce. So, again, hoping to make a partnership with them. And I would say, I think the barbecue, our original, would work best with it. But I mean, again, depends what you're doing. If you're doing, just a deer steak, or if you're doing a deer chili. Right. I mean, I've put the Tennessee Red in chili before. It's really good.
I'm going to defrost some of the venison meat I have, and I'm going to try it.
Yeah,
I've never tried the. You ever tried the Adirondack oysters? I've never tried them.
No. What's an Adirondack oyster?
I wouldn't trust that.
Deer balls.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it's funny.
You've eaten them, right? I mean, that's not anything.
No, I haven't.
All right.
It's funny. It's funny you talk about this because when you weren't here, we were talking to John earlier. He was talking about the whole duck thing. So, like, you guys are going to get into the Chinese food market and make duck sauce.
Oh,
that would be an interesting sauce coming out of these.
duck sauce.
Down the road.
Yeah.
No idea is a bad idea.
But anything oysters that people tell you, just don't eat it. It's just fucking disgusting.
Ocean filters.
Like mountain oysters,
Yeah, the Rocky Mountains. Whoosh.
Yeah.
I got a buddy out in California, and I never realized. I'll eat regular oysters, love them, they're great. And maybe it's just how sheltered in Syracuse, New York I am. We went out there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they got this oyster and that oyster and this oyster and that oyster," and I'm like, "There's more than one." I'm like, "There's a different oyster." I'm like, I guess
no.
Should have known better.
One of my favorite places for oysters is, I think it's Brewster Inn.
Oh yeah. Everything's.
They get theirs from New England, I think.
And like Skinny Atlas, you mean?
Yeah.
Is that where it is?
No, not Skinny Atlas.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Sherwood Inn is the.
Yeah.
Sherwood, yep.
Yeah.
Sherwood does like a cool summer thing where they do like raw stuff.
Yep. So there, Roman, fuck off.
The York has, the York during the summer, like they're happy hour, they do like dollar oysters or something like that. They're really good.
Really?
Yeah, they're pretty good. And then Persimmons does oysters too during the summer.
Oh yeah, Persimmons, yeah.
So I haven't had oysters at Persimmons, but their food is good.
Yeah.
And I think the quality, the choices of like craft beers. I don't know have you been there?
Yep.
So I feel like that place is going to grow and has potential.
Oh, yeah.
So if you were to get in the local restaurants, your sauce, is there any restaurants that you have on the list that you try to reach out and?
We have, and we actually, again, we were in a couple of restaurants, and
we kind of had to pull out just because we just.
It's hard to make the gallons for people when they need them. So now we're at a point where we can order a large bulk order of gallons, so we can do that in the future.
So you had to pull out because you didn't have the capability to make that. Was this prior to your co-packer?
It was a lot of it's like just it's tough because the price of a case of sauce and what a price that a restaurant needs to be able to purchase a gallon of sauce at in order to make their food profitable.
Yeah. And also because
we're just not there yet.
We were to order 500 gallons. and only have 2 stores that are interested.
Yeah,
I see.
That was
I
it.
see.
Can't justify it. So we're at a point now where we are getting a lot of places that are like, all right, can you do it? We just need we just want the barbecue. We just want the Carolina. Yeah. And it tends to be a lot of like these pizzerias or, places that have like wings and stuff like that because they'll just like toss them up. So
yeah, I didn't think about that. That's fucking great. Like you could have like a Carolina Gold tossed chicken wing. Like they got because everybody's got all these chicken wing sauces now, like garlic parm and hot meat. So like now you just fucking throw it around in there. Yeah,
and we're gonna be at Battle of the Wings.
Yep.
Battle of the Wings in March.
Yeah,
so, June is it?
Yep.
Okay, so Battle of the Wings in June. Check us out. We'll have all the sauces. So if you're not happy with your wings, just get some dry ass wings. Bring them over to us. We'll mess them up for you.
You guys go to
July. July's Battle of the Wings.
You do Taste of Beeville at all?
We didn't.
We haven't done it yet. Yeah, we haven't done it yet.
Good enough. Good enough. Did you want to try some of this sauce? Because John has, but the bread's over here, you're over there, and
He has one of those things, man. Like we usually eat most of it. I mean, the Alabama white, once it's done, you gotta.
So the first time you tried it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I was asking about restaurants because in case we come across somebody or if we have a guest who's a restaurant owner, can we pitch your business to them and if they're interested in
you
they could reach out to us and we can kind of set something up down the road.
yeah, you guys take care of it from there, right?
Right. And again, even if let's just say we don't have the gallons on hand currently, it's what our plan is in the future, and we can certainly wholesale a 12-pack, which is going to equate to roughly a gallon plus. So that if that works for you, we're more than happy to supply it. Again. We would love to be in restaurants as well as retail locations. To whoever's coming in or whoever's listening,
Yeah.
I used to work at Pizza Hut.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
We would get those boneless
Anyways,
wings.
I worked at Ponderosa.
Jesus. Yeah, Ponderosa had wings.
They would have boneless wings.
You don't know where they came from.
They were this big. They were that big.
fucking pigeon wings.
They're like frog wings. They're just fucking tiny little fuckers.
And at Pizza Hut, what they do is when you order boneless wings, different flavor of barbecue sauce, you got this like stainless steel pot. So once you fry the boneless wings, you toss it in there. You put barbecue and then you mix it up.
Big pans, yeah.
Yeah. And then that's how you package it afterwards and send it out. So I was wondering how like some of this stuff would.
So sorry. So back to the what is it, Wing Fest? What the fuck thing's called? In July?
Battle of the Wings.
Battle Wings, yeah. Because we always miss that. I mean, we always try to go, we just can't. But so you guys are only going to be there, and you are. What's that?
Doing pretty much what we have here with bread and tasting stuff.
Okay, so people can bring their wings to you, like you're saying,
if they want to.
I mean, you're not going to be selling wings with the sauce already on them,
no.
right?
We had we were at Taste of Syracuse, and again, an unnamed
company
food vendor. Somebody was disappointed with their food, so they brought it over to us, and they're like, "Can we sauce it up and make it good?" And we're like, "You can do whatever you'd like. Come on over and
just try, throw it on."
And we'll be
sandwiches. They come.
You got to have like a catchphrase: "Bring your chicken for a squirt" or something.
We're here for the squirter.
If your chicken tastes like dirt, have a squirt.
If it's dry, we'll moist it.
No, it's got a rhyme. Everything's got a rhyme.
Sorry.
Some sort of alliteration.
If it's dry, try our guy.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Or it's got what rhymes with sauce.
I don't know.
If it tastes like moss, have our sauce.
Yikes.
No, but I mean, we're gonna be trying to do more local events, and then again, we're gonna do a lot more in Rochester as well, just to really get a footprint out there and let people know what sauce is all about.
So you're a 6-year-old company now?
We're a what?
6-year-old company now?
No.
Officially, we're probably.
I think it was 2021 we established the LLC, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got home.
I thought you mentioned 2019.
Well, that's kind of just the pre-rumblings of it all.
Yeah, that's when we started diddling, and then.
Man,
when did you start diddling, Roman?
I can't tell you.
No, you can't. No, not on those.
There's a restraining order.
I want to say 2022 because I got back in November of 21.
Yeah.
And then 2022, that September, I think, is when we did that first 60-gallon batch.
What did we put on the bottle? Are we bullshitting people?
So great growth with a.
It's
three,
crazy.
4 years.
Established 2021, so therefore go with it.
And this is fucking Cornell said this, so.
Yeah. And the tough part is, it's like, we've been maybe in Wegmans for almost a year now.
Yeah, I'd say about a year. Mm-hmm.
But it's just, we're I don't know what it is. Like we're busy. It's you think you'd celebrate it a little bit longer, but it's like we're just like, all right, what's our next spot? Where can we get this sauce out to people? And it's like the events are awesome because, like he said earlier, like you could just see the look on people's faces,
Right.
when they just taste that sauce, and you're like, all right, this is oh yeah, this is why we do it. That's the big part. I mean that, and because we like to eat barbecue.
You guys had a barbecue fountain.
Yeah.
I mean, who fucking has barbecue fountain?
So
When I saw that,
Like a fondue? I was like, fondue.
The story to that was one of our first events was Wine and Chocolate Festival.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do we had to put some barbecue on a fucking chocolate fountain. And then people would be
Nobody
like,
had a
"What is
chocolate
that?"
fountain. I'm like, why doesn't this place have a chocolate
Like,
fountain?
A, we don't belong at Wine and Chocolate Festival.
Right.
But B,
Barbecue
like,
sauce.
did we or did we not just bring people in because they were like, is that chocolate?
Oh, yeah.
They're like, what the fuck?
Is it caramel? And they're like, oh my God. And you could smell it. And once you smell it, you're like, I got to try it.
You got to get a sauce slide.
Yeah.
Sauce luge?
Like sauce luge.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Like we did a fire and ice with those things. Like you took shots off an ice slide. And,
Health
Drop your
quotes we'd break
chicken.
doing that.
whatever. Who cares?
No, but we did. It was funny because when we did it at the Taste of Syracuse, and that was a pain in the ass too. Because that first day it was like rained, and downpoured. We basically just sat there and drank beer all day. Like, we had music off to the right, but the wind was awful. It kept blowing the sauce all over the place, like from the fountain. And we had people coming down the street, like, we can smell that from up there. And I'm like, really, past all the other vendors and stuff. It's like, but yeah, that was a nightmare to keep like contained. We'd like pull it back. We're trying to do all this different stuff, and then we had it. It's funny because we had it at. Was it the last Brew Fest? Not this one. The one before last year. We had a Brew Fest, and Zach likes to tend to it. He gets, he likes.
He wasn't there this year, right?
He wasn't this year.
Okay, yeah.
But he'll have like a spoon or something like that, and he'll kind of keep it mixed up and keep it kind of going. And he didn't have a spoon; he had a fork or something. He had.
I don't know what it was.
And he like went to go stick it in to mix it up, and it like caught the rudder that like pulls the sauce up, and it just went boom, and just sauce all over. There was like 2 people got covered in sauce.
The
sauce
meme?
all over him. It was all over the table, all over the ground.
There's that one Asian guy, right? And he had the cheese thing. It was like, I don't know. Have you seen this one? The Instagram or whatever it was? And that Asian guy that does the, it was the same kind of thing.
cheese?
Yeah.
I haven't seen
And
it.
he goes messing with it, and it starts like going and going, and then it like whips him in the face.
Whips everywhere.
Yeah. It was the same kind of thing, but it was all over the
Oh, it was that was awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
So, do you guys want to mention like websites, social media, stores that you guys be found? Obviously, Wegmans, we've mentioned that.
I mean, the website, pretty easy, bbquse.com. We're also, it's BBQuse for the Instagram, or it's b.b.
No, it's not. There's no. I don't think there's dots in it.
Maybe it's the Facebook has the dots in it. I remember we had to kind of do it because somebody else had already taken one.
And $6.99 a bottle at local Wegmans.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that.
No, but it's reasonable price.
So roughly $7. It's
Yeah.
not. It's
I
not
mean,
bad.
it comes down to like $7, right?
Yeah.
And that's why we do it at the vendors events is $7. It's just even, right? You're gonna pay $6.49 at most of our retailers.
Yeah. The best deal is the 4-pack for $25.
Yeah, I mean, it is b.b.quse, so that way kind of get the idea.
On Instagram?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's what the name is. So I don't know.
No, I fucked that up. So
Are we following somebody else?
No, but
Hopefully not.
BBQuse.
We got a trademark. So.
yeah.
Nice.
I got the golden form from New York State
Yeah.
and everything. So the first time we made a big batch of sauce, we run it out of kitchen, FDA approved, all that fun stuff. Down on, was it South Salina Street, I think?
Yeah.
From the
Old,
owner. The guy.
Little Italy.
Yeah. Great guy. Owns, I don't know if he owns it or if he's.
I'm telling you, he owns Lookers or something. I'm telling you.
No, that guy.
Again, that's a different sauce you're getting from there.
This guy was great. He, Salt City Market he works at, but he helped us out, set us up with the kitchen, everything like that. And a couple other local companies have used that kitchen for like a ghost kitchen. Great kitchen, got everything you need. But what a pain. We had these huge.
What did we book? Like 4 hours?
Yeah.
No.
And I think we like just barely even, and it was freezing cold outside. It was snowing. And I remember, man, this was before we did the additives, so we were boiling everything. So we were boiling it, you can only let it cool down to a certain temperature before you can put it in the bottles. And the problem with these bottles is the heat.
Yep.
So we're trying to get it down like almost to that temperature and pouring them in. And we don't have like a great pouring system. So we're, doing what we can. And it's just, man, we all left sticky and burned.
You were at Lookers.
Yeah.
A couple of rounds of antibiotics, I think that. But it was crazy.
Was a nightmare.
I mean, we were planning on being there for I think we said 4, maybe 6 hours. I don't even think it was that bad. And we left.
It was bad, yeah.
It was.
I mean, we got what we wanted. We made sauce, bottled up, sealed it off, everything like that. It was all good to go with per the guidelines, and it was just, but man,
we took our bumps and bruises, and I mean, all three of us just looked at each other and we're like, "Holy shit, dude!
We need a co-packer."
This is. I don't care what it costs.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, I mean, again, the consistency is so much different when you have. The co-packers make it because they do it in this bulk and they have the process down where we're still kind of fumbling around and, we're making legit sound mixtures, but you have only so much time to bottle them before different ingredients settle. Mm-hmm. And, you're putting them in the bottles and we were doing it in a different fashion, which we talked about earlier with, with the hot sauce that goes into the bottles, which warps the bottles, and then it dilutes different things. And it's just way more consistent this way. And my God, that was.
And you've got some ingredients that are ounces by volume and then ounces by weight.
Right.
So you're trying to balance back and forth, what goes in where and how to,
I find sometimes just because you're hiring somebody who's built for processing something and you feel like it's going to be more expensive, in the end, the amount of money and time you spend doing the cheaper way seems like costing more money than if you were to just pay one location who's designed to do this because they have all the right equipment. They can do large batches and it doesn't necessarily cost that much more. Right. And the time you get back, it's amazing.
Yeah,
that's a huge part,
that time goes to the family, kids, productivity, growth of business.
Yeah, whatever it is, right. Lookers.
I was yeah. I mean, we stopped at Lookers afterwards, but no, but it was a real test, and it was a test of are we going to keep going with this? Are we really just bullshitting ourselves? Is this real?
Yeah.
And
we do that every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was definitely a defining moment and really told us the shit's real.
Yeah.
And it's blossomed ever since then.
Yeah. And it's nice, most of the time when we get together for our business meetings, it's usually, a cookout.
Yeah.
So we're usually there with our families and, eating and, we're doing our stuff.
Yeah.
But so it works good for a family. So you guys still talk business. I mean, I get it. We do the same thing. But you're not. I mean, there's time taken away from your families. Maybe not so much now because you got the co-packer. Right. But even on the business side of things, you could still everybody together, and you guys could be at a picnic table talking about shit. Be around a little campfire or something like this. It's not like something that's a time suck.
Right.
I mean, again, we were at the brewery in Boston, and we're half cocked talking about we should buy the old Pizza Hut and turn it into a
the pizza
weed sauce place, and
a little alcohol, gives you new ideas.
It's encouragement. Yeah.
So, you guys all still active military or no?
Yeah, I got up 2 years ago.
You're done. And Zach is done.
Yep.
He's done. Yeah.
And you guys all work at Upstate, you said?
We still do. Yeah.
Full time?
Full time.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, and that again, it's in that conversation I was talking about with Sparrows earlier. They again just gave us so much insight into what we need to understand about the business, and they're so helpful in this is what's going to make you guys work.
Yep.
And one of the first questions they asked me was, which one are you going to quit first?
Yeah.
And we're like,
it's a little tough.
And he's like, no, seriously, you guys will do well if you meet A, B, and C criteria. And we're meeting A, B, and C criteria. And we're literally having these conversations. And we're like, okay, so we had the conversation. Are we going to continue with this or is this a hobby? Mm-hmm. And now we're at a point where we're like, well.
Next step.
Nah.
What's the next
Who's
step?
quitting?
What's the next step?
Yeah. So it's awesome.
No sign of anybody quitting.
Not yet.
All right.
No. That's the tough part is, you're in the healthcare, we make pretty, decent money. Mm-hmm. If I worked at a different spot where I made $40K a year, $20K a year, it'd be like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
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 I have a friend who started his own business and working a full-time job.
Yeah.
And he had a threshold. He's like, my business now needs to make this much in order for me to quit my full-time job.
Right.
And then when he quit his full-time job, he quadrupled his income
Oh, geez.
Oh yeah.
on
That's true.
on his business.
Yeah.
Because so much more time was invested into to grow the business.
I mean, you watch what's the show where they come on and they got the
Shark Tank?
Shark Tank. I mean, they always say like, "Oh, you're still working?" Like,
Right.
get the fuck out of here. Like, they're like, if you're not committed,
Oh, it's good enough for those fucking billionaires to say, right?
well, I'm sure, but if you're not committed, like, what are you doing, man? Like, so we're getting to that point. But again, we've been very fortunate to have 3 stable people with stable significant others who are willing to support us. So it takes a lot of the burden off of one individual. And right now we're at a point where we can maintain like this. So
Yeah, and you're doing it right. You're not growing too fast. You guys are taking the right steps to make sure you grow at an adequate pace.
Right.
Yep.
And you guys are having these conversations on where you want to go in the future. So
right.
Yeah, the big thing is the demand. It's like, I forget who told us when we first started, was like, again, don't outgrow yourself, because especially with sauce, if you have, 40 stores and you can only sell to 20 of them, well, those 20 stores are going to forget about you because somebody else is going to come in.
Yep.
So they were like, make sure you can keep up with the demand that you're having up. And, I would say shout out to Vital Eats, which is our co-packer that we've been using through Albany. Ruben there's been awesome. I mean, he's given us so much tips, information, and stuff like that. And the new one we're working with, private label, right?
Private label, yeah.
Even, the same. They're great, super helpful, want to see you succeed. That's just how this whole, it's weird, this whole like sauce, I guess we call it a sauce community, if you will, but like the stores, people have been great. They've been awesome about.
It's the small business, right? It's a local thing.
I think
mean,
I was just going to say, any small business that's involved with another small business, if they do well, they do well.
Yeah.
So everyone is working hard for each other's best interest.
Right.
And it's not like there's so much competition. It's more of like, I need to make sure they do well so that I can do well.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of, I think, small businesses, of collaborating with each other. Like you say community, when you're in local community, or that's what the community is. They all help each other out.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason for 2 co-packers is redundancy or capacity?
No, it's
Capacity,
literally capacity.
Okay.
And also the connections, right? So Vital Eats has a lot of connections, to the Albany area.
Okay, I see.
He's supported us, and now having a second co-packer who
They're out of
has a
Rochester.
lot of connections out that way in Rochester. And obviously, like sometimes one co-packer can do something a little bit cheaper or a little bit quicker, or has a different thing that the other one doesn't.
Right.
So by no means do we mean to discount one or the other.
Absolutely.
It's just such a great opportunity to be able to utilize both of them and utilize them for what serves us.
And you do have that in case something happens to someone.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And we've had issues. I mean, 2020, everybody had supply chain issues. We don't want to have that.
Yep.
Right.
So again, that's one of the things we're trying to shore up. So
And
Well,
that's
stick with these bottles.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. And it's funny because, you talked about supply. Like, I mean, I did not expect our distributor to reach out to us, the winter time, because, who's buying barbecue sauce in the winter, but they've already purchased
they doubled up.
Oh, perfect.
40 cases already this winter, just the winter. Like, I can't wait to see what the summer's going to be. So that was our big reason for getting a second one, just in case we need
Great.
to get even more.
I think another business that would be good for getting in touch with you guys is food trucks.
Yeah. We've spoken to a couple of, I mean, again, the tough part is the price point. It's because we don't do the gallons and stuff like that. They love our sauce. A lot of people do. But it's just, if I sell you a case, it's going to be $54 and is $54
Yeah. But if
within your range to.
if a food truck goes to, so a lot of breweries don't want to have kitchens, right?
Right.
It's a lot of
and that's great.
permits and things like that. So it's easy to have a food truck. A food truck at a place where there's alcohol, when they're spending money drinking alcohol, they'll pay a little extra to have
for the
food.
food,
Like, go ahead, get the good barbecue sauce, price up your meal just a little bit.
Yeah.
You're at the location where people want to keep drinking. And the best thing I always say at the breweries that don't have kitchens is like, find a food truck, get food in there.
Yeah.
If there's food at the brewery, people will stay longer. They'll drink more beer.
Right.
So I mean,
They kind of
what was it?
cohabitate.
Yeah.
Was it 2021? We bought the actual mobile cooker, like a huge smoker.
Yeah. We
bought,
have a 250 gallon smoker.
Wow.
which we call the BBC. Big black cooker.
Black cooker.
Yeah. And honestly, we were targeting this idea of like, let's do food trucky, let's do brewery kind of things. And it's not done. We're not dead with that idea, but like at this point,
she needs a little work.
I mean, yeah.
I think we work her up, throw a little paint on her. It'd be cool to have like at the event, like just to kind of go behind.
So how many of these are in a case?
12.
So 12, so it's $4, $5 a thing for $55, $50, whatever it is.
Well, that's just the retail cost.
Oh, so that's not the me and Romer cost.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Are we going to wrap this up?
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I get it. I see what you're saying, but that still doesn't seem like it's too much for someone that's, in the industry. They'll buy that. I mean, they just want it in a physically bigger container.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the price we offer. Again, it gives them plenty of margin.
Yep.
To make it work for us and work for them. As our volume increases, we do see that our costs will decrease.
Absolutely.
And I think we can, help even more people. And again,
And that's where the gallons will come.
That's how it works.
gallons will happen.
Yep.
It's just not today, but down the road.
Good.
All three of you guys have families?
We do.
Yeah.
I was going to say, the one doesn't is going to be the first one to quit.
Yeah, I was going to say. If I didn't have kids, it'd be way easier.
Why would you think? Why would you think they'd quit?
If I could just sleep in the back of my truck and make a mini house, I mean,
Well,
it's good to go.
If someone in a partnership does not have kids or married or family, then there's less support. So you could quit earlier from your day
No,
job.
I'd be like, I own a business. Come at me, girls. Like,
No. You misunderstood.
No. Whatever, maybe.
Anything else you guys want to add?
I don't know. What do you want to say?
I don't know. That's pretty much everything, just.
We covered events that are coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got a bunch. So, again, stay tuned.
I mean, do you want to tell the story of Zach Love? No.
Check.
We do have to give Zach a shout out.
Yeah. I mean, but check out our website. Go on to bbquse.com. Check us out on BBQuse on Instagram.
Yeah.
That'll give you updates on where we're at and what we've got going on. Give you links to different areas that we're currently stocked. Obviously, big shout out to Wegmans. That's one of our bigger retailers. Sparrows, Macy's, all the Aces local, Witty Wicks. We got 20 East in Casanova. We've got
What's going on up north?
got Two Broke Moms.
We get Two Broke Moms, but the other one there in
The meat market up.
Scribe of Meats.
Scribe of Meats. Yep.
Scribe of Meats.
Okay. Meats.
Yep. Oh, the Ace Hardwares. Most of the Ace Hardwares in the area. Witty Wicks again. They're huge.
Yeah, and we've been really trying to be active locally. We've been really good about donating to people that need them for foundation events. A lot of fire departments have reached out to us all over the country.
Nice.
We've literally sent our sauces to California, to Idaho, to
We sent it to Long
Texas,
Island
Long Island.
Great.
A lot of fire departments do those chicken wing cookouts. Yeah.
Elks here in Syracuse.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think all that. Obviously, we should give Zach a shout out. It's too bad he can't be here. But Zach's a huge part of our.
He's putting his kids to bed while we're hanging out drinking beers.
Well,
he's been a
we'll
huge
make it
part
happen.
A part of like what's created our sauces. He's very
Passionate about it, yeah.
passionate about making a good sauce, and like it's worked. And it's funny the stories that he has of just like people that he's run into. John the other day had somebody that was like. Or no, it was Zach, wasn't it? They were like, "Oh, have you tried this sauce?"
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I know a guy."
Let me tell you.
And Zach's like, let me tell you a little something about that sauce. So he's a lot of the personality to it too. So we owe it to that as well.
Yeah, that's always funny when you go to events and stuff like that, and like people you work with, they're like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
You sell sauce on the side? It's like, why wouldn't we? Slinging sauce everywhere."
Yeah.
Again, that's another title of a movie. Ron Jeremy started that, I think, once, right? Slinging sauce everywhere.
And Peter North.
Oh man.
But
Nobody slings sauce fire.
not anymore. Yeah. They sling. Yeah,
Rest in peace. Bud.
that's a whole different
We could
subject.
make a berry wood sauce, couldn't we?
Oh man.
Rest in peace.
Add a little humor to it, to your marketing campaign.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate you guys doing this, and obviously for your service as well, and Zach.
Yeah, sure.
We'll catch up with you guys hopefully at some point with Zach involved. So
Yeah, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I will tag everywhere I go and I see your barbecue sauce.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we appreciate
This
it.
summer when we throw barbecue, we'll just have you guys come over.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the best way to try it all.
Yep.
Absolutely.
definitely.
Well, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
guys.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.